A pioneer who forged new paths and broke down walls that had stood for centuries. As the first black actor to win an Academy Award for Best Actor, his influence transcended film. But what about the wealth he accumulated throughout his extraordinary career? Sidney Poitier's financial legacy is as multifaceted as his life, from his groundbreaking roles to his work as a diplomat and author. Today, we're diving into how this iconic figure transformed his talents into lasting prosperity, proving that true greatness isn't just measured by fame. Still, by the impact and wealth we create, not only for ourselves but for the world around us. I don't think of myself as a black actor. I think of myself as an actor. Period. Sidney Poitier. Growing up, Sidney faced many challenges, with poverty being a constant reality. His family's resources were limited, and he had little access to formal education. As a child, Sidney's understanding of the world was shaped by the values his parents imparted: integrity, resilience, and an unwavering belief in the importance of character. At the age of 15, his life took a dramatic turn when he moved to Miami. This was Sidney's first encounter with the deeply entrenched racism of segregated America, a stark departure from the communal life he had known in the Bahamas. The systemic discrimination he faced left a profound impact on him, forcing him to confront issues of identity and self-worth at an early age. It was a jarring experience, but one that also sparked an inner determination to rise above the constraints imposed by society. Seeking better opportunities, Sidney left Miami at the age of 16 and moved to New York City, arriving with little more than hope and determination. The transition to city life was anything but easy. Alone and without a safety net, he took on menial jobs to survive, including washing dishes at restaurants. Each day was a struggle, but Sidney's experiences in New York shaped his character and fueled his drive to succeed. It was during one of his shifts as a dishwasher that Sidney stumbled upon a newspaper ad for auditions at the American Negro Theater. Acting was not something he had ever considered, and the idea of becoming a performer seemed far-fetched. Still, he decided to audition, motivated by the possibility of earning more money and improving his circumstances. The audition did not go well. Sidney's thick Bahamian accent and inability to read the script fluently led to a humiliating rejection. The casting director mocked him for his accent and advised him to pursue a different career, suggesting that he was wasting his time. For many, such a critique might have marked the end of the road, but for Sidney, it became a turning point. Determined to prove his critics wrong, he embarked on a journey of self-improvement. Using the limited resources available to him, Sidney taught himself to read fluently, often practicing by studying newspapers and listening to the radio. He spent countless hours mimicking the diction of radio announcers, gradually refining his speech and developing the confidence to try again. This period of struggle in New York City proved to be transformative. It tested Sidney's resilience and revealed his capacity for growth and adaptation. He could have easily accepted the initial rejection as the final verdict on his potential, as many others. But instead, he chose to persevere. Each failure became a lesson, and every obstacle a stepping stone toward his ultimate success. Sidney's move to New York wasn't just a physical relocation, it was the beginning of a profound personal transformation. The boy who had grown up on a remote island without formal education would soon rise to become one of the most iconic figures in Hollywood. Through sheer determination and hard work, Sidney Poitier turned what seemed like insurmountable odds into an extraordinary journey of self-discovery and achievement. Sidney Poitier's journey into acting didn't start off as a smooth one. In his early days, he auditioned for the American Negro Theater, ANT, hoping to kickstart his career in acting. But things didn't go as planned. He was rejected, not for lack of ambition or presence, but because of his thick Bahamian accent, which made his English challenging to understand on stage. The rejection wasn't just a setback, it was a wake-up call for him. Determined to improve, Sidney took it upon himself to work on his language skills. His method was simple yet effective. He practiced reading newspapers aloud and trained his ear by listening to radio announcers. Slowly but surely, he began mastering the American accent, refining his speech to a point where he was confident enough to try again. His perseverance paid off when he was later accepted into the American Negro Theater. This was more than just an achievement. It was the foundation for what would become a groundbreaking career in entertainment. At A&T, Sidney was immersed in a world of storytelling, where he sharpened his acting skills and learned the craft. The theater became his training ground, offering him the opportunity to perform in plays and gain confidence as a performer with each play. Although these roles weren't glamorous, they were instrumental in shaping his ability to convey emotions and connect with audiences. After establishing himself at A&T, Sidney Poitier gradually began to expand his horizons. Theater was his first love, but the lure of film offered a chance to reach even larger audiences. His first roles were small and unremarkable, but they were stepping stones towards something greater. These early experiences taught him the importance of patience and persistence, two qualities that would carry him through the challenges ahead. In 1950, Sidney made his film debut in No Way Out, directed by Joseph L. Mankiewicz. The film wasn't just another project, it was a milestone that set the tone for his future in Hollywood. Sidney played Dr. Luther Brooks, a young black doctor treating a racist white patient, played by Richard Widmark. The role was groundbreaking for its time, challenging the racial stereotypes that were deeply ingrained in the industry. The film addressed issues of racism head-on, and Sidney's performance was powerful and authentic. It wasn't just about delivering lines, it was about bringing humanity to a character navigating the intersection of race, professionalism, and dignity. This wasn't the kind of role typically offered to black actors at the time, and Sidney knew the significance of what he was doing. No Way Out earned Sidney critical acclaim, establishing him as a serious actor capable of tackling challenging material. The film also opened doors for him, leading to more opportunities in Hollywood. But this was just the beginning. Sidney Poitier wasn't just an actor, he was a trailblazer, breaking barriers and redefining what it meant to be a black actor in an industry that was far from inclusive. Each step in Sidney Poitier's early career, from his time at the American Negro Theater to his breakout role in No Way Out, laid the groundwork for his future success. Thinking of the achievements that have truly shaped the entertainment industry, there's no overlooking the monumental impact of trailblazing figures who defied conventions, broke barriers, and opened doors for future generations. Among those, one stands tall as a pioneer whose career not only redefined Hollywood, but also set a global standard for excellence. Breaking barriers in an industry that historically limited roles for black actors was no easy feat. Yet, becoming the first black Hollywood star to shatter racial stereotypes was a challenge this trailblazer embraced with determination. His outstanding performances brought humanity, dignity, and complexity to roles that had previously been confined to one-dimensional portrayals. In 1967, two films became cultural milestones that underscored his power as an actor and as a symbol of change. Guess Who's Coming to Dinner boldly tackled issues of race, interracial marriage, and acceptance during a time when such conversations were fraught with tension. His performance as John Prentice was a turning point for how black men were perceived in Hollywood. Intelligent, compassionate, and unquestionably equal to their white counterparts. That same year he starred in the Heat of the Night, a role that cemented his place in cinematic history. Playing Virgil Tibbs, a Philadelphia detective navigating racism while solving a murder in the Deep South, he delivered one of the most iconic lines in film history. "They call me Mr. Tibbs." It wasn't just a line, it was a statement. A declaration of respect, equality, and the refusal to be diminished. These performances were more than entertainment. They were statements of social justice, resonating far beyond the screen. While his acting career placed him firmly in the spotlight, his talent extended far beyond performance. Transitioning to directing was a natural evolution for someone with such a deep understanding of storytelling and character. He not only succeeded as a director, but broke records, becoming one of the most successful black directors of his time. A standout moment in his directorial career came with Stir Crazy in 1980. The film, a hilarious buddy comedy starring Gene Wilder and Richard Pryor, was an undeniable hit. What made it particularly outstanding was its performance at the box office, becoming one of the highest-grossing films ever directed by a black filmmaker. This achievement underscored his ability to navigate different genres while maintaining commercial and critical appeal. Directing wasn't just about exploring new creative avenues. It was about expanding representation behind the camera. By stepping into this role, he paved the way for other black filmmakers to take their place in an industry that had long excluded them from leadership positions. Such a remarkable career couldn't go unnoticed, and the accolades he received reflected the profound impact of his work. In 2009, he was awarded the Presidential Medal of Freedom, the highest civilian honor in the United States. This recognition wasn't just about his contributions to cinema, it was an acknowledgement of his role as a cultural icon and a champion for equality. The Honorary Academy Award he received in 2002 was another defining moment. Presented to him for his lifetime contributions to cinema, this award highlighted the profound influence he had on shaping Hollywood's evolution. It wasn't just a nod to his talent, but a celebration of his courage to challenge conventions and create opportunities for others. Beyond these major awards, his legacy has been celebrated through numerous lifetime achievement honors, including tributes from prestigious organizations like the Screen Actors Guild and the Kennedy Center. These awards are more than trophies. They're symbols of a career that has left an indelible mark on the world. Additionally, his contributions have been recognized in the academic world. Over the years, he has been awarded honorary degrees from esteemed institutions, celebrating his role as not just an entertainer, but also as an educator and an advocate for positive change. The achievements outlined here go far beyond professional milestones. They represent a lifetime of pushing boundaries, elevating conversations, and inspiring countless individuals to dream bigger and demand more. Through his trailblazing career, directorial accomplishments, and the awards and honors he's garnered, this figure stands as a testament to the power of perseverance, talent, and a relentless pursuit of excellence. When examining the personal life of someone who not only shaped cinema but also influenced social values, it's clear that the story goes far beyond the screen. His journey reflects the same strength, conviction, and integrity that defined his professional career. He worked hard on both. Marriage is often said to be the foundation of a fulfilling personal life, and his relationships reflect a deep commitment to family values. In 1950, he married Juanita Hardy, an important figure in his life during the early stages of his career. Together, they built a life marked by resilience and ambition, raising 4 daughters while navigating the challenges of Hollywood and the societal pressures of the time. Their marriage, lasting 15 years, coincided with some of his most revolutionary professional milestones. Despite the demands of his career and the complexities of being in the spotlight, he prioritized family and created a home environment rooted in love and support. While the marriage ended in 1965, the respect and bond they shared as co-parents endured, serving as an example of grace and responsibility. In 1976, he found lasting happiness with Joanna Shimkus, an accomplished actress who shared his passion for the arts and commitment to family. Their union brought stability and joy into his life, and together they raised 2 daughters. Their marriage, spanning decades, became a testament to enduring love and partnership in an industry known for its challenges. Joanna was not just a spouse, but a confidant, collaborator, and unwavering source of strength. Their relationship reflected mutual respect and an understanding of the pressures and rewards of a creative life. Family remained a cornerstone of his existence, and his 6 daughters, born from both marriages, were at the heart of everything he did. He often spoke about his role as a father with immense pride, emphasizing the importance of instilling values like respect, hard work, and kindness. His family life was a sanctuary, a place where he could fully embrace his role as a father and husband, away from the demands of fame. Beyond his roles on screen, he was a man of profound principles, deeply rooted in the values of equality, justice, and human dignity. His influence extended far beyond Hollywood, as he used his platform to challenge societal norms and advocate for civil rights. During a time when racial prejudice was deeply ingrained in society, he refused to accept roles that demeaned or stereotyped black characters. Instead, he sought out projects that portrayed black men and women with complexity, intelligence, and humanity. His career choices were not just about advancing his success, but about changing the narrative for an entire generation. Advocacy was not limited to his work. He was deeply involved in the civil rights movement, lending his voice and presence to causes that sought to dismantle racial discrimination. His unwavering belief in equality resonated with those fighting for justice, making him not only a cultural icon, but also a symbol of hope and progress. Through his speeches, interviews, and public appearances, he consistently emphasized the importance of education, opportunity, and understanding. He believed that representation mattered, that seeing people of all races in positions of power and respect on screen could inspire real-world change. His values weren't just evident in his professional and public life, they were deeply personal. He lived with a quiet dignity, leading by example rather than grand gestures. Whether mentoring younger actors, supporting emerging filmmakers, or speaking out against injustice, he remained committed to using his influence for good. At the core of his personal life was an unwavering belief in the power of love, respect, and humanity. Whether through his marriages, his role as a father, or his dedication to civil rights, he demonstrated that life's most meaningful achievements are not measured by awards or accolades but by the impact we have on others. This was a man who didn't just play heroes on screen, he lived as one in his everyday life. His journey, defined by personal sacrifices, steadfast values, and an unyielding commitment to justice, continues to inspire and remind us all of the profound difference one person can make. Sidney Poitier's rise to stardom was anything but easy. Early in his career, Hollywood offered limited roles for black actors, often confining them to stereotypical characters. However, Sidney was determined to break free from those constraints and pave the way for authentic, respectful portrayals of black life. His breakthrough came in 1955 with Blackboard Jungle. This film, which tackled social issues in an inner-city high school, featured Sidney as Gregory Miller, a rebellious but intelligent student. His portrayal of Miller broke new ground by presenting a black character with complexity and dignity, challenging the conventional roles available to black actors at the time. Sidney's performance garnered attention and positioned him as a rising star, while also signaling a change in how black characters could be portrayed on screen. Sidney's career was a beacon of hope for black actors, proving that persistence and talent could overcome even the most entrenched barriers. He quickly became a symbol of progress in a deeply segregated industry, and his continued success would further solidify his place in Hollywood history. In the late 1950s, Sidney Poitier's career reached new heights. His role in The Defiant Ones, 1958, was a pivotal moment in his journey, as it profoundly explored race relations. In the film, Sidney starred alongside Tony Curtis playing Noah Cullen, a black convict shackled to a white man as they attempt to escape. Their need to cooperate despite their racial differences provided a powerful narrative about humanity and reconciliation. Sidney's performance in The Defiant Ones earned him an Academy Award nomination for Best Actor, making him the first black man ever nominated in that category. Though he did not win, the nomination was historic, marking a turning point in the industry and encouraging a shift in how talent was perceived across racial lines. During this period, Sidney continued to choose roles that defied Hollywood norms. He was committed to portraying black characters as fully realized individuals, showing their depth and complexity. By doing so, he not only built a remarkable career, but also helped challenge the systemic racism that was pervasive in the film industry. Sidney Poitier's career reached its pinnacle in 1963 with Lilies of the Field. In this film, he portrayed Homer Smith, a handyman who helps a group of German nuns build a chapel in rural Arizona. Sidney's performance was rich with warmth, humor, and resilience, showcasing his ability to bring profound emotional depth to his characters. His portrayal of Homer Smith earned Sidney Poitier the Academy Award for Best Actor, making him the first black actor to win the prestigious honor. This achievement was a groundbreaking moment in Hollywood's history. Sidney's Oscar win was not just a personal triumph, It symbolized a shift in the industry and sent a powerful message about the potential for black actors to achieve greatness on equal footing with their white counterparts. Sidney's win also held cultural significance, as it validated the work of countless black artists who had long struggled for recognition in an industry that often overlooked their talents. It was a monumental step forward in the fight against systemic racism and discrimination. Sidney Poitier's Oscar win in Lilies of the Field established him as an enduring Hollywood legend. His portrayal of Homer Smith resonated deeply with audiences, and the character became an iconic figure in cinematic history. Following this success, Sidney's roles in films like Guess Who's Coming to Dinner, 1967, To Sir with Love, 1967, and In the Heat of the Night, 1967, only further cemented his place as one of the greatest actors of his generation. Sidney Poitier's legacy is one of breaking barriers and reshaping Hollywood. From his role in Blackboard Jungle to his Oscar-winning performance in Lilies of the Field, Sidney proved that talent, perseverance, and commitment to truth could overcome the obstacles of an unjust society. He showed that there was no limit to what a black actor could achieve, and in doing so, he paved the way for future generations of performers to follow in his footsteps. At the time of his passing in January 2022, Sidney Poitier's net worth was estimated at $25 million. For some, this might seem modest compared to today's Hollywood stars, whose fortunes often climb into hundreds of millions. However, when viewed through the lens of his era and the barriers he overcame, this figure becomes far more significant. Sidney Poitier was a trailblazer in every sense. As the first black actor to win an Academy Award for Best Actor, he was working in an industry that for decades relegated black actors to limited roles. Despite this, Poitier not only broke through those restrictions, but built a career that spanned decades, transcended acting, and created a lasting legacy. His net worth reflects the financial rewards of a career marked by groundbreaking achievements, wise financial decisions, and a diverse portfolio of work. Sidney Poitier's wealth was primarily built through his successful acting career, which began in the late 1940s. At a time when Hollywood offered limited roles for black actors, Sidney's breakthrough performances in films like Lilies of the Field, 1963, and In the Heat of the Night, 1967, weren't just critical successes, they were cultural milestones. Sidney became one of the first black actors to command significant salaries, paving the way for future generations. As his career flourished, so did his financial success. Sidney didn't stop acting. In the 1970s, he transitioned into directing, with films like Stir Crazy, 1980, becoming major box office hits. This move increased his income significantly. Stir Crazy became one of the highest-grossing films directed by a black filmmaker at the time, proving his commercial and creative success. Additionally, Sidney Poitier expanded his wealth by writing. His books like The Measure of a Man, a spiritual autobiography, became bestsellers, adding another income stream and allowing him to share his life and wisdom with a broader audience. Poitier's ambassadorial work also contributed to his financial legacy. Serving as the Bahamian ambassador to Japan from 1997 to 2007 and as a representative to UNESCO brought him financial benefits and reflected his global influence. Sidney's reputation for dignity and integrity also made him a sought-after spokesperson for various brands, further bolstering his financial standing. His disciplined approach to finances helped him maintain and grow his wealth over the years, ensuring his financial legacy would last long beyond his career. Sidney Poitier's financial legacy is a testament to his unparalleled resilience, versatility, and dedication. With a net worth that reflects his groundbreaking roles, philanthropic endeavors, and diplomatic work, Poitier showed that success goes far beyond the box office. His story serves as an enduring reminder that wealth isn't simply about money. It's about how we use our platform to inspire, influence, and create opportunities for those who follow. Sidney Poitier leaves behind not just a legacy of wealth, but a legacy of change. And that's priceless.